I'm actually in the garage now, so I can show you what I'm gonna do soon. So, I thought that the transmission would be a lot more violent than it is now. Cooler upgrade, but I'm gonna open the box here. And this is the actual cooler here.
Perfect.
Welcome to the AutoLust YouTube channel. And if you're new here, this is part 2 of me getting my 1400 horsepower, 1200 foot-pounds of torque, Pure Drivetrain Solution, fully billet, stage 2 transmission. I know that's a lot to say, right? Put in the world's most powerful BMW SUV, which is Sasha, my 1200 horsepower capable BMW X6M, which will soon be tuned. Let me scoot up a little bit. I hate when people just stare in my window. Yeah, which will soon be tuned soon after I do the 500-mile break-in, which we're at about, gauge reads 154.2. So we got a little ways to go. We're a little over a quarter of the mileage we need, which I can't do highway miles. It has to be through all the gears up and down to break the clutches in successfully. So yeah, driving, pretty much driving expectations what I had. I thought that the transmission would be a lot more violent than it is now, but the reason I got the windows down is because I got the AC off and I want to hear everything. Just in case something goes wrong, I want to be able to catch it immediately. But the reason why I'm sure the transmission isn't as violent during break-in as I thought it would be is because you're absolutely required to reset adaptations on the transmission and take any type of tune off. So you're not allowed to use any tune during break-in. You're not allowed to use any you're not allowed to go do any high power shifts or anything like that. Everything got to be like stock, regular around town driving, for this transmission to break in correctly. And I apologize if it's hard to hear me because the windows are down. But the last thing I want to do, after almost $18,000 into this one transmission from a failed transmission from another company that I had to go and do this and do that. If you guys want to see all the hell I've been through, those videos are down in the description. But that's the last thing I want to do now that I'm all over $18,000 in one transmission. The last thing I want to do is do anything to damage this transmission, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's what I'm going to be doing exactly what they tell me to do, breaking this transmission in the right way and doing everything the right way. But with the car, everything's going good. The body has about 68,000 miles on it. You see right over 68,000. The engine has about I would say about 5,000 miles on it, and the transmission has 155 miles on it. So everything going good, but it's some things I want to show you guys too when I pop the hood, when I find somewhere to park. So I'm gonna get back with you. I want to keep my eyes on this road. I wanted to bring my windshield mirror mount camera, also body mount camera. I bought that for the race scenes so you guys can see me gapping shit when she ready. I mean gapping shit. So I definitely bought another camera just for those type of scenes. But when I get somewhere, pull over and take a little break, I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm doing next, and and why I'm gonna do it and how I'm gonna do it. So I end up actually just doing the entire trip. I think I forgot what mileage we started off on, but you can rewind the video to find out. But right now we have about 202, almost 203 miles. So that was pretty good. We almost halfway there. And I'm actually in the garage now, so I can show you what I'm gonna do soon. So as you can see, let me show you. You probably can see better down here. If you look all the way down, on there, you can see it's a transmission cooler all the way down to the bottom right before the ground. It's a transmission cooler, but the reason I don't want to use this transmission cooler, well, there's actually two transmission coolers on this car. It's a air to oil and a coolant to oil, and both of them, both thermostats open fully at 200 and something odd degrees. And if you're letting your transmission get over 200 degrees Fahrenheit before you start cooling it down, then you're gonna catch hell to cool that transmission down, especially when it's highly modified like this. So I'm gonna be taking both transmission coolers out, and I'm gonna be running a custom setup down in that bottom grill there with the improved racing oil thermostat. You know, shout out to them because they sponsored me for that. So when that comes in, I'm going to do a full review on that, and it could be used for oil, transmission oil, engine oil, any type of oil. You know, it's an inline thermostat. So the improved racing thermostat actually just came in today. I apologize if the sound and the camera quality looks different, because I'm actually recording on a cell phone. I don't even know which side the camera on. I guess this one. I'm recording on the cell phone on a tripod because my DJI camera is actually on the charger. But I'm gonna show you exactly what came in, and special shout out to Improved Racing, you know, for sponsoring the bill. You know, they gave me all of this stuff at an incredible sponsorship, man, and they sent me a ton of merch, which I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what that was, what I told you about that transmission inline thermostat, and I'm gonna show you what all they put in the little goodie bag for me for a sponsorship. So it comes in this, it actually comes in a big box, you know, if you get the merch package, but it comes in this box here. This is the one I got, and this is actually the same inline transmission cooler thermostat that Berger Motorsports uses for their B58 and S58. I think it's a B58 and S58, but I know for sure it's for their B58 upgraded transmission cooler, because the ones that come on the B58, even if you have the upgraded cooler package, it's trash. I mean, big boy trash. And I'm gonna leave a link down to Kern's channel, and he's like, it's called the B58 Digest, and he can tell you a little bit more about, you know, the Berger Motorsports transmission cooler upgrade. But I'm gonna open the box here, and this is the actual cooler here. I hope this camera has good enough quality to do what I need it to do. And it has an in to cooler and an out from cooler. You know, and you can go with AN settings. They have like 5 or 6 different AN size settings and 5 or 6 different nipple barb settings. You know, I'm already using the barb from, I think it's a quick connect to barb from my factory transmission line, so we don't have to cut and convert anything. So I just went barb all the way around, but we use good fittings. I mean, we use good fittings and pressure clamps anyway, so it won't be any leaks. But this thing is like extreme. This is a little heavy block, you know, and it's billet aluminum. And it has an O-ring, a robust O-ring in between, and you could actually open these 4 screws up and change the thermostat inside. Well, the element inside, which, you know, opens and closes versus the oil temp. And I'm gonna put a little video up that shows you this. I'm gonna put a picture up that shows you this thing in action, so you can see exactly how it works on the inside right here. But anyways, yeah, so this is the meat. This is the meat right here. When you say meat and potatoes, this is definitely the meat right here. And then in that same box, it comes with the fittings, which I told you I went with the 1/2-inch barb fittings because that's what I wanted to use anyways. You know, and it's 4 of them, 2 in, 2 out. And it also comes with these little mounting tabs here, so you can set it. I'm gonna show you where you can mount it here. So you can mount it sitting up to the side or something like that, you know, because it is pretty heavy. So I probably use one of these to push it off somewhere, because it has some weight on it. You know, I think it's probably, I don't know how much it weighs, but it has some good weight on it. I have a scale that I could weigh it with, but it's not that heavy to where you want to be having to worry about that. And it also, down to the bottom, it comes with a book here. Please read instructions in their entirety prior to installation. And it comes with this little booklet right here, you know, that breaks down a lot of stuff. Okay, here we go right here too. It shows you how it works. You can pause the video right there. Shows you how that works and like some ways you can hook it up. And second, what I'm gonna do is a custom catch can setup. And now that I have a crankcase breather on this car, the oil blow by isn't near as bad as it used to be. You know, it used to be horrible. Like before I got the engine built, this car, I got the engine built at less than 60,000 miles, and it was oily. I mean oily. So imagine if you got more miles than I had, how oily your intake system is. But the left side is always worse than the right side. As you can see, this right side look brand new. Both of them, I bought these at the same time when I built the engine. I just bought new ones. But you can see how oily this one is. You know, it's all caked up with oil. I don't know why the left side is so much worse than the right side of the engine. You know, well, facing the engine, me facing the car, the left side. But yeah, I definitely need an oil catch can setup, because the last thing I want to do is to drop octane by having oily intake air. Because if you have oil vapors in your intake air, it definitely reduces the octane, you know, and that's going to in turn kill the power. And when that oil gets sucked through into the intercooler, that oily air coats the heat exchanger inside of the air to water intercooler, and it can't do its job efficiently because it can't pull heat out of the air, because oil is coating the actual fins and the plates inside of the intercooler. So the barring plates, I meant. So I definitely need to do that. And I probably do a setup similar to like Tony's. I'm gonna show you on some pictures here. Do a setup similar to that where they're on each side. But I'm thinking about doing an open system with breathers, you know, because I mean, my engine is an open system anyways with this breather. You know, you have a few people saying the vacuum thing and stuff like that. I know with the older E70 and E71 X6M, they had a totally different PCV system. You know, so it was totally different, and I think that worked off vacuum, you know. But this system is a little different, and it's already a couple of people running open systems like that, and they don't really complain about any like smells or smoke or anything. And this thing is open, so you know, it's a valve inside, but it does release crankcase pressure when it builds up. So, and I don't smell anything, and I mean, this is a drag car anyways, you know, a drag racing car with open down pipes and straight pipe, and you know, like I don't, the smell is the last thing I care about. This is my daily driver here, so this car can be as smelly, obnoxious, and everything it wants to be, as long as it run the time I need it to run. So I don't really care about that for guys who, you know, so don't even say that in the comments, because I don't care about the smell. That's not what I'm here for. Yeah, so once that's done, you know, and like it's about, I got about 300 more miles left to break in, and once that break in is done, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the dyno and tune it, you know, because I definitely want to get this thing maximum power, know what type of power figures I'm looking at, so I can try to guesstimate the quarter mile times I'll be able to run with the power I'm making, and that'll let me know if I need to go back inside and do E85 cams or something, or do something else like port and polish the heads or something like that, which I shouldn't have to do any of that. you know, because I can make 900 wheel horsepower easily with the mods I have now. You know, so everything should be fine. But the thing I do need to do, you know, and you know, like a couple of people ask me about, they say, oh, you almost ready to hit the track now. Yeah, that's true. I am almost ready to hit the track. I can roll race, but I can't drag race. In order for me to drag race, I either have to buy a separate set of axles and send those out to be built, or I have to sit Sasha back down, excuse me, get the rear axles removed and get those sent out. I don't know the lead time at Drive Shaft Shop, but you cannot race with those stock axles in that car, not making that type of power. The car won't last maybe a track session. You know, maybe 1 or 2 passes, if that. Probably won't last the first pass. With that type of power and torque that engine produces, and that transmission is gonna let it pass to all 4 wheels without slipping. I mean, that's massive amounts of power, and the stock rear axles aren't meant to handle that. They're meant to handle 500 horsepower to the wheel, something like that, 550 or something like that. Definitely not 900, 950. So the rear axles will need to be built. And the transmission shifts beautifully. I mean, everything is great. So I know that transmission is definitely gonna be a superior help to what we need in this quest for that 9-second quarter-mile pass. Special shout out to Pure Performance at Pure Drivetrain Solutions. You know, I mean, they the best at it. If for your transmission needs, anything ZF, if you got a ZF transmission, ZF, ZF, however you want to pronounce it, you know, however you want to say it, definitely go Pure Drivetrain Solutions. If I went with them from the beginning, I'd already be on the track right now. And all of the extra money I had to spend in the transmission for no reason, I would have had the world's most powerful 35i SUV also, which is still gonna happen. But I spent enough extra money in this one, backtracking, that I could have put that money and finished this truck. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's all a big learning experience. So, like, share, and subscribe, and Auto Lust out.